Hi guys, welcome to Chronicles of a Therapist. I am the host, Cassandra Shepherd, and welcome to my space. So, I talked about TikTok and stuff last episode, but the segue of my concern of young people, I posted something, I believe it was on Facebook, and I went on a very dramatic tangent, and I'll tell y'all this, the reason why, what prompted it is, y'all know I work in a school. I work primarily with middle school and teenagers, high schoolers. And I have met so many teenagers throughout my career who really have this thought process of, and we had it too, I can't wait to be an adult. Because when I'm an adult, nobody is going to tell me to do anything. And after this conversation with this teenager, I said, that is false. That is a lie. That is not. And nobody, when I was a teenager and thought that way, said this to me. So in my brain, I feel like we should tell young people this. It's a lie because it gets worse. When you become an adult, the level of responsibility and have-tos are diabolical. Like, as a teenager, you're upset, or as a kid, that your mom asked you to like clean your room because it's your space and you destroyed it, and that makes you upset. Now granted, because of child development, I understand why developmentally children, teenagers struggle with being told what to do, especially those children who did not have parents, grandparents, uncles, aunties, grandmamas who was on their neck. Like, when you parallel having a certain type of parent who just was on your case about stuff, and not even like naggy. I'm not talking about naggy parents, because that's a whole nother subject. I'm not talking about like nagging. Oh my God, your shoes are dirty. Take your shoe off. You stepped in mud. Well, duh, I stepped in mud. Why would you think that I wouldn't take my shoe off at the door? We're not talking about them parents. But the parents, like, I've talked about my dad, I've talked about my mom. And I didn't realize this until like this level of adulthood, they were on my neck so much. The reason why I'm successful, I can work multiple jobs, I have multiple degrees, is literally because of how they was on my neck. Like, my dad conditioned us so bad. I remember being 4 or 5 crying about, oh my God, my toe hurt. You know what Frank would say? Is it bleeding? No. Okay, go give me a knife so I can make it bleed. Oh, no, I'm fine. Like, so I say that, like, when you have a certain level of parents who shape you for responsibility, who shape you to problem solve, who shape you. I remember at 5, we were ordering McDonald's. You know why? My dad would say, I'm not eating it. You want it, you order it. I have met teenagers who cannot go to McDonald's indoors and ask for whatever they want. You're not even paying for it. Like, huh? You can't tell the people what you want? Why are you? So I say that to say, these are the same children who I don't want to be told what to do. So the reason I'm having this episode, as adults, please, if you have children in your life, teenagers, you work with kids, you got nieces and nephews, cousins, please tell them, and not in a way like, you know, you had the people, I remember when I had to walk to school and it was, that's not what I'm talking about. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't say that type of stuff. Tell them, when you have to decide if I want to pay my car note or book this flight, that's adulting. Because I want to book the flight because I want to leave, and being an adult is getting on my damn nerves and I don't care and I just need a reset. Or I want to really buy these new shoes really bad because they're nice and I like them and they make me happy. But I kind of need to drive to work. I kind of should pay my mortgage or my rent because I kind of need a dwelling because I got a family. And if I don't pay it, then who the hell gonna pay it? Like, what? So we need to tell our teenagers this because they are growing up. And granted, these are the same who don't know how to emotionally regulate themselves because they crash out on social media all the time. And that's okay because their society says that's okay. They are the generation who, like, I would never say that mental health was never a thing. We were raised different. You might have been anxious and depressed, but guess what? You still going to school. You still going to school. I know you don't want to go to school. You have social anxiety. I don't care. Are you throwing up? You got a fever? You're going to school. And some people's parents didn't even have that. I don't want to hear that. And you better not call me. You better not call me and tell me nothing. I got to go to work. You're going to school. So we were raised with that line of thinking where we persevere, whereas these generations, they don't know how to do that. So we need to tell these children that being an adult is not the end all be all. Like, being an adult is not like, oh, I'm going to be an adult. Well, here's the thing. When you're an adult, when you are grown, you can provide for yourself. You can work and provide. Just because you turn 18 don't mean nothing, because you're still living in your mama's house or your daddy's house or whoever's house. It ain't yours. You're not paying no bills at all. You're not buying no food. Who bought your clothes? Now, granted, there are teenagers who, unfortunately, are adults. All of us know, have grown up with them. They are cousins. They was working 4-5 jobs. Either they had a kid at 16 and they were forced to provide for themselves and their children, or they looked at their life and said, well, my mama got health issues and I'm the oldest, so I guess I'm getting 2 jobs. I'm going to go to school, or I'm going to drop out of school because I got to work to provide. Yes, there are people like that. Absolutely. But we ain't talking about them, because these kids are not doing that. I don't know. None of the kids that I work with have that story. Granted, I work at a charter school. It's very small. And when I listen to my teenagers, I'm like, yes, you guys, yeah, it's not a behavior school, but y'all have mental health and stuff. I can tell. But like, are you telling me that you're upset that all the adults you've already flunked and you're supposed to graduate, but you're still a junior, you're not doing any classes, and you just want to like kick it and play with fidgets all day and like not do no work? And we are spazzing out, all the teachers in the building, because we want you to graduate. You know why we want you to graduate? Not just so we can get you out our hair. We want you to have, because you need at least a high school diploma. Like, our kids don't even realize, like, when we were teenagers, you could be 14, drop out and get your GED. You can't do that. Guess how old you got to be? 16. You got to be at least 16. So like okay, yeah, I need to go to work. All right, I'm gonna drop out. I'm just go ahead and get my GED. They can't even do that. So that says you gotta at least have a high school diploma. The job market for people with high school diplomas and no skills is difficult. So why would we not want our kids to at least get a high school diploma? So I say that because I'm surrounded by teenagers who think that way. Oh, I'm so anxious. You are anxious. You do struggle with depression. You have had traumatic situations. But, and I said this, and that probably sounded harsh, but I don't care. Nobody really cares. I'm a therapist. I care. Society doesn't care. As a therapist, if I'm having a shit day, it don't matter. If I got 6 clients I got to talk to, and I know at least 3 of them are suicidal, and I know they on suicide watch, more often than not, I'm going to work. I might be struggling. Don't nobody care. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So we need to literally, sometimes our kids need tough love, and not in the space of I'm making like browbeating you, but like we have to set up our teenagers, our middle schoolers, because oh my God, y'all are going to be the ones taking care of us, and y'all don't have no stress tolerance. No distress tolerance at all. None. Zero. Zip. Y'all are crashing out because somebody cut you off while you're driving. That happens every day. All of us have had experiences where you want to literally ram somebody. I see myself doing that often. But here's the thing. Insurance, if I take this Jeep and ram it into this car, that would be so gratifying. Until I can't drive my car and I go to jail for vehicular homicide or assault. And this is a cascading failure. Like, so our teenagers, our young people don't think, oh my God, and because y'all play GTA and you can literally do that in the world of GTA. Sure, you can blow somebody up. You can be so mad, give me the laser gun. You can't do that in real life. You will go to jail. You can't do that. Would it be fun? Possibly, maybe. But then you're going to go to jail for homicide because you killed somebody because you just wanted to shoot them. Like, the same people with the mental health struggles who are shooting up churches and malls and clubs, they are going to jail. Do they have mental health? And I promise, every one of them people knew they were struggling. They were connected to somebody. It was a family member. They had it there. Somebody knew. Nobody cared enough to say, hey, Johnny was talking real weird. Case in point, Jeffrey Dahmer. You cannot tell me, as creepy as that guy was, there was nobody in that boy's life who said something's wrong with him. You know why? Because unfortunately, as a society, we don't care. People don't care. This is the same reason why you ever people scream help, nobody responds. You know why? Somebody else gonna do it. I don't want to do nothing with that. Right? That's why they tell you, if you're in an issue, if something's going on, you scream fire. You don't scream help because nobody's coming. Somebody else come for a fire. Help? Nope. Somebody else. If I heard it, somebody else had to hear it. I might be the only person on the street, but somebody heard it. No. So I say that to say, we have to teach our children, and even not even our middle school teenagers. If you're not teaching your toddler structure, this is why they are how they are now, because there was no structure at all. And I'm not saying just your parents. Some people got amazing grandparents. Sometimes the grandparents are structures, or the aunts, or the uncles, or the coaches, or the pastors, when you can't teach your children structure, they don't believe that authority is a thing, and they grow up thinking, I can't wait to be an adult to do what I want because I can go rob a bank, because I can go to the liquor store and rob the liquor store. No, you shouldn't go to the liquor store without any money, because the rest of us who like to drink, I just got paid. Let me go get my fifth. Let me go get this bourbon right quick. You don't just walk into a store and steal it. No. But if we don't teach our children problem solving, if we don't have these conversations to let them know, because I say this all the time to young people, I wish somebody would have told me, because they really was letting us believe that being an adult was the easy. Maybe it was just my parents, but I'm sure y'all parents made that stuff look like cake. Like, man, look. Even if you were struggling, you didn't realize how much y'all was struggling, because our parents shielded us from so many things that when you got an adult, you was like, oh. I had a great conversation with my mom a couple months ago about whoopings. And my mom, I think I might have got 3 whoopings from her. And my mom I told you she was dramatic. She would make me go in my room, strip down, and I would wait for hours. I would just be waiting. Like, it's 9. Why are we doing this? Like, what kind of torture? Why? I didn't realize this until a couple months ago. My mom said, you know why I did that? I really did that to calm down. Yep. I was calming down because you had pissed me off and I didn't want to hurt you. So I would go wash dishes. I would go do other stuff to have myself calm down, so that when I was giving you a whooping, it was an actual discipline. It wasn't me beating the hell out of you. What? Oh, I never knew that. And I'm almost 40 and I just found that out. Like I said, our parents made things very easy. And then when you become an adult, when you want to take your kid's head off and you think about, well, my mom was never, or maybe she was, but it wasn't to the level of anger that you have because that kid did something stupid. Our parents shielded us from stuff. So to prevent these unhinged young people, you got to have those conversations. You got to give them spaces to talk about reality. Like, the best thing I would tell adults, take a kid through a script. All right, so you're going to graduate from high school. Then what you want to do? I don't know. I'm just going to like not work. Okay. So if you don't work, you don't have a house, because where you going to stay? You can't stay here, because we had the conversation that when you turn 18, you're going to get a job, going to go to the military, going to get out or something. So you don't have a job, so you don't have a house. So now what? Well, I'm just going to, but you don't have a car. So you don't have a dwelling. I'm just gonna have fun. I'm gonna play video games. You have no home though. So I know you just want to play video games and eat Takis all day, but you have to have a home, electricity, and Wi-Fi, and a TV, because all that stuff I provide. So help me understand. Oh, yeah. So let's try to start working on budgeting. Let's try to start. So we got to start teaching because they are very. This generation is very much. They don't like to be told what to do, and we weren't either. Let's be real. A lot of us we had trial and error, trial and error. So be creative. Talk to your young people in a way where it can reach them. Maybe they are a gamer. Maybe they love gaming. Okay, I notice that you game often. You get home from school and you game. You're now a junior. You are not working. So, what's the plan? What's the plan? Because you graduate next year. Like, are you going to school for IT so you can like make games? Because that's cool. We can support that. That's 2-in-1. We can do that. So like, I think it's important as adults to give them the space to explore. Oh, I want. I laugh, and I shouldn't laugh. I have met so many young people who want to be rappers, and then I listen to their material, and I'm like, do y'all hear yourself? Like, do you? I know that mumble rap is a thing. I understand that. But do you hear what you just said? Okay. Do you realize how much work it is to be an artist? How much money it takes? No. Let's do some research. Let's research some artists who actually are making money long term, not one here to quitters. Like, let's research some artists who've been doing this for a minute, who got some real money. So encourage your youth that way. Like, I don't think that some of the Facebook wouldn't be around if somebody told Mark not to do it. So I don't think that you have to turn down great, grand ideas, but you have to help them play it out. You have to ask those questions, because otherwise they will continue to live in their delusions, and their friends will encourage them, and they're all going to be content creators and make a lot of money. But none of them know how to edit or have equipment or even have a computer. All they have is their phone. And if you know anything about content, you can record it on the phone, but where you going to house it at? And once you house it and edit it, it gets bigger. These are the conversations have with your young people. If that's what you want to do, you know what? Make me a video. Okay, after a while, your phone's going to crash out. Then what? Hey, you might need an actual computer. So these are things that I encourage you to have those conversations, because the reality of being an adult, people still going to tell you what to do, because we still got to pay taxes. We still can go to jail. You know, like, let's be real. Like, even people who are homeless on some levels are choosing to be homeless. Even if they're homeless and hopping from shelter to shelter, there is a level of choice. Because every shelter that I know of, there's a program where you can get a house. So they are also choosing to be homeless because they want to. It's 20 degrees right now. They are choosing to be cold. There is choices. And just because you're an adult doesn't mean that there's a golden ticket and I can just do. It's not. So please, ma'am, please, sir, help your kids. Thanks for listening, guys. You can find me on Instagram at @CNChef_Chronicles. And I will catch you on the next one. And don't forget to allow your passion to propel your purpose. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.